Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Dead, a division of 999 Gaming, and want to say happy Saturday to each and every one of you. We got some secrets to discuss, some channel stuff to discuss, some broadcasts we're going to do all throughout the week, and just a couple stats and a couple answers. We'll do a little bit of Q&A today. You guys know how we like to roll on Saturday. It's not going to be real high pressure. Hopefully you guys are having a good start to your weekend. Once again, these streams, we got a lot of our domestic viewers, but decided to do these Saturday and Sunday early streams just to reach out across the pond, across the world, because we have viewers from everywhere. And with that being said, some viewers have recently found us over the last few days, and I know there's some questions up. Why the multiple channels? Why, are we doing all of this? First and foremost, the channels were set up some time ago, and you try to satisfy all the fans that are out there. You really want, there's some people that when spoilers come out, they'll message me and say, hey, Kills, I love the channel, but when you guys talk confirmed spoilers, I don't watch for like a couple of weeks. So we have a 999 spoilers channel that is going to be specifically with confirmed spoilers, so we don't get that kind of mixed in. We're still going to do our speculation videos, but those of you that watch the channel for a long time, you know that there's a lot of different things that we do on the channel. We really, dude, why? Some people find you no matter where you are. It's like part of it is to keep some of the recent trolls that have signed up from other channels that spam our channels with either dislikes or comments that they shouldn't be here. No problem with people watching whatever they want to watch, but when they're like, I don't know, can we get rid of this person? There you go. But when we get people like that who are actually here in chat and they're talking about other channels and this and that, it's just not respectable to our group. So fans will find you no matter where you are, but let me say this. Trolls will find you as well, but one thing about it is they don't find you quite as fast. And as we set up 999 Dead, we are going to focus on a lot of dead topics. They're not just going to be Walking Dead topics. They're going to be things that we can just develop in the channel. We're going to have our live streams. We're going to have our discussions. Spoilers will focus on spoilers, but we have sports. It's going to focus on sports. And we have a gaming channel. And when I do, yes, Wilson, there's nothing that's happened to 999 Gaming. You will still find videos on 999 Gaming. But the best time for us to develop these other channels is when Walking Dead is sort of taking a little bit of a break. So when are you going to do this when we get everybody together? And to be perfectly honest, there's people that signed up to the gaming channel a long time ago that I really don't care if they're a part of our streams, because we get a lot of people that are like, Kills, why aren't you playing this game anymore? I signed up to be a gamer. So this might not be the type of format for them. Hopefully you guys understand that. If you're true fans, you'll support all the channels. It'll be one additional subscription. It should not be any penalty, any pain for somebody to have multiple subscriptions out there. It's just going to be a notification. I know we live in a world of convenience, but the things that I would ask each and every one of you guys, if you guys want to be a part of what we do, then subscribe to each one of those and pick the channel that you really want to embrace and really want to be a part of. We don't need 500,000 people that, if 200,000 people aren't interested in the content that we do. We want to have something out there for each and every person. Comic book reads, spoilers, speculation chat, all of the above. So hopefully that answers the question. I'm sure we'll get asked that question again. But once we get to 999 Live, you'll understand it, because there's going to be people who want to talk about Walking Dead, and they're not going to want to see me drive up and down the street and see where I eat and what I do and all of those things. So ultimately it will kind of culminate with 999 Live, where you get a little bit more information, but that's not going to be what everybody wants to see. So hopefully that answers the question. Let's get into today's chat. We got Pete D, when can we super chat? That is completely up to YouTube, Pete D. So it could be as early as tomorrow. It might be a few more days. So once we get these channels up to a threshold that YouTube deems in their algorithms, then they will enact that upon each one of these channels. So you'll be able to super chat in 999 Dead, 999 Live, 999 Spoilers. So that's why you're going to see a few videos on this channel next week. Toward the end of next week, we'll probably do some confirmed spoilers that are out there. And so you'll see a live stream or two there. It's just gradually going to organically grow. So exactly, Crawfish. That's kind of what we do. We got Scott Kernan, Q&A, super chatting it already. Scott, I will tell you, Scott and Pete D are probably, and Villar, they're just like aching to get the super chats in there. But keep in mind, it is still a smaller audience at this point, and I am able to acknowledge a few additional people. So Scott Kernan says, Kills, do you think we have a few episodes that have flashbacks at the confrontation between Alexander and Hilltop? Scott, I think sometimes you read my mind, because a lot of today's questions and a lot of the secrets that I have, I do think are related to that. And I am going to touch base on that. Let me see where I have that down on my list. Part of it is with the RJ situation, with Cindy, I think all of those could kind of scream out conflict and why people have sort of avoided. But I'm not going to specifically answer your question right now, Scott, because I'm going to answer it with several bullet points. Hopefully that works for you. Flutterbear wants to know what a super chat is. A super chat will be something that is enabled very soon. It'll be an icon down below where you can actually make a contribution to the channel, and it highlights your chat. And what we normally do is we kind of flip around, and whoever super chats, we talk about that topic. So the first thing that I want to get into, and that was a nice 6-minute introduction. So those of you watching, hopefully I answered everybody's question, but I'm still going to see. There's another 80,000 people out there that are either gamer fans that have been with us for a long time that have not transitioned over to this channel. So they will gradually filter their way in. And that's kind of what I meant earlier, is not everybody watches every single video. But I will say this, with your group, the 999 Dad group that we set up, you guys have watched a high percentage of the new live streams and the new videos we posted. I'm going to go over some stats in a little bit. I don't want to bore you with stats, but it's really phenomenal. Since we've set up this a week ago and put the live streams, the amount of retention and the amount of likes and the amount of comments specifically toward this, and we don't have 50 people coming over, from haters from other channels disliking our videos. So they'll get here eventually, but I'm really excited about that. So here's the first topic I want to talk about with secrets, and it's probably, for me, it's one of the biggest secrets that's out there. Hopefully, you guys agree. Where is Jadis? We know where Jadis went, but why are there not more people into the Jadis storyline? Because Jadis wasn't just specifically to Father G. I mean, Jadis, there were people, Tara knew Jadis, Jadis hung out with the group. I mean, certainly they had to look around and say, what happened to her? Because we probably know what happened to the Saviors. We probably know what happened to Oceanside. We'll get that story. But other than Father G, do you think he's told anyone about Jada's situation, or has he kind of kept that all internalized? Let me see what you think about that. And Tommy, I did see that with 999, and I'll hit that in a couple minutes as well too. Crawfish, Crawfish, you warm my heart, man. I love that. No, there's no option to dislike any of these videos. Although the person that was here spamming for the other channel. Hey, let me say this while you guys are answering this, and I promise I'm not going to dwell on it. But thank you so much for being you. Thank you for being an awesome group of mature people. Thank you for not being those people that go on to other streams and spam follow 999. Because honestly, I hate those people. They're annoying. And whoever is running that channel, if they have their little groupies do that, they should really call them out and block them. And this is, I don't bash other YouTubers often, but when I do, I drink Dos Equis. But look, I take a lot of pride in what you guys do and how you guys represent our group. So thank you so much. I know I don't say that enough. But the maturity level and the interaction is something I really, really appreciate. Ron Burgundy. Father G probably told the group Jadis decided to leave the group. Fair enough. Father G bound by his vows of secrecy. Did Jadis have any close friends? Wilson, she started to, you got to figure she did, right? Big Kev, hold tight. Super chats, give it a couple days. Remember, in this, hey, look, we could say it's a plot hole. We could say it's a secret. Jadis was with this group for a year and a half. before she left. A year and a half was basically equivalent to the amount of time Walking Dead was in existence prior to that group. So she wasn't just, recluse. I mean, she was mixed in with the group. She was at the campfire. She was involved in that. I love it. All right. So these are my makeshift super chats. So Valar says, hello, 999 Army, Kill Steph, Emmy Kells, Sweet Tommy, sponsors, Patreons, and of course, all the super chatters. Thank you so much, Valar. Appreciate that. And your introduction and your credit is always good with me. So you guys that are here and talking, supporting the channel, just unbelievable. Thank you so much. Lisa Haldum says, Q&A, when Michonne, Daryl, Aaron, and Jesus and Whispers return, where is Magna? Lisa, Magna's going to get in the mix. But the rumor is, and you've seen from the picture, I mean, we see Alden and we see Luke. So it looks as if Alden and Luke might be in a little bit of trouble. And I would say, this is not a spoiler, this is just me talking and trying to answer your question as best I can. I would say Magna is going to want to get involved in that if Luke is in trouble and try to rescue Luke. Or if Luke is beyond in trouble and maybe dead, then she's going to definitely want to get in the fight. Echo Hunter, we've heard a couple 100 miles. So here's an additional secret. So look, we know Jadis is out there, and of course the helicopter, and we can dispute, did they hear the helicopter, did they not hear the helicopter? Negan and Father G know about the helicopter, but I think the helicopter is secondary, and I'm only saying secondary because if Father G talks about Jadis potentially leaving or something happening, then the helicopter becomes primary. But hey, was there a helicopter? Yes, it's important. But is anybody going to believe Negan? Is he trying to negotiate? Is he using it as leverage? Father G really needs to validate or communicate with Negan before other people start to accept that as being a possibility. So for now, could just be some crazy dude that's locked up in a jail cell that's trying to, hey, I got something. I got some, nah, that doesn't exist. We're not letting you come help us look for that. So they're keeping him at bay a little bit. Another secret, and this is a secret that is just not a potential plot hole. This is a secret that's right there in front of everybody's face. The Rosita Father G radio situation. And now you've got Eugene involved in it. So you basically have three people trying to reach out to make communications with whoever. Now, will Father G and Rosita get off the hook if they make a radio communication with Jadis or with Rick at some point? Do you think that is a potential secret that is meant to promote the movie? Because it does look like, as we talk about crossovers, it looks like it's not going to be a Fear Walking Dead crossover, Walking Dead Fear crossover. It's starting to look like a Walking Dead movie crossover. More and more and more. That in order to really hype up the movie, you're going to have to watch the movie to get the answers to these questions. Do you guys feel a little bit of that? That maybe there's a lot of intent, not just answering a story, but a whole lot of mysteries that they want you to tune in to find out. The more I thought about that, the more it almost seems forced, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with AMC getting me on board with their movie, even though I'm already on board with their movie. Well, Lonnie's like, oh, hold on, Kills. You might be onto something. So I've recently heard a rumor. I'm saying this is complete rumor because I don't know. And if it is true, it does bother me a little bit. It's not a death. But I'm starting to hear that Austin Emilio may not even film this season. Now, if so, it really throws a wrench in my Negan Dwight reunion. It still doesn't mean it won't happen. Look, I'm not confirming that. I'm just saying it's something that I heard. The problem is, some of the people are saying, that definitely means Dwight was taken. It doesn't mean Dwight is taken. Because Dwight could still be involved in a movie. And what a lot of people are forgetting, it's not either or at this point. It's not like, well, Dwight's not in Walking Dead, so he's got to be taken, he's got to be involved in the movie. You know what? Dwight could be involved in the movie because they got 6 years worth of answers before they get to the Whispers. And that is what's so beautiful about this time skip. He could have some interaction with Rick. Dwight might know the answer to Rick. I mean, we don't know that. I know it's a stretch. And then maybe Dwight makes his way back. How cool would it be? Let's throw this out there as a super bold prediction. Oh, man, hold on. You know how you can tell it's a good prediction? It's when you get a lot of hair standing up on your arm. So, hold on. I got something here. What if? Look, Dwight cannot come back to Daryl without Daryl killing him, right? I'll ever see you again, I'm going to kill it, son of a bitch, right? So, hold on. What if Dwight is in the movie, makes some contact with Rick or this other group, and instead of Rick escaping, Dwight needs to go back and let them know that Rick is alive. Now, that might be one of the only reasons that Daryl does not kill Dwight, because Daryl's been looking for him for 6 years. Wouldn't that be a nice welcome back? Wouldn't that be a nice, if Michonne or somebody else were to have this, I mean, there's got to be a clue out there. There's got to be a reason to go look for him. What if these people in the helicopter capture the wrong group? You know, it doesn't seem too far-fetched because it's not like they're in Texas. They're close enough. If they pick up Heath or they pick up Dwight or they pick up Rick and all three of those are in the movie and one of them escapes, it could be a good story in my mind. And I don't think it's super coincidental because we know the helicopters are in their backyard. I like it. You know, if you guys agree, hit that like button. If you guys like the theory, then show a little love. Pike the like. What if Dwight saves Daryl? Viola, that's still a possibility as well. Could be a little creepy to the storyline that Dwight, Daryl told Dwight to leave and then Dwight shows back up without a reason. Look, you come in somebody's house, you better have a gift. If Daryl tells Dwight to stay away or I'm going to kill you and he just pops back in and says, hey, looked like you needed some help, then it might not be a very smooth storyline. Mike, you're going comic mode with Heath. I don't think Heath's going to be missing a leg. So, Ron, do I think there's more than one helicopter? Yeah, I do. I think these people are geared. I think they're in good shape. One of the other things that it's not a secret, because obviously we found out at Hilltop when Carol asked about RJ. So RJ's not a secret. But limited exposure. The question that I would ask is, how much involvement did you think that Maggie had with Judith and with RJ? I mean, Rick went up to Hilltop and was basically carrying baby Herschel. So could this rift with Maggie and Michonne be about Maggie's refusal to help rebuild Alexandria? Six years is a long time. So what a few people have speculated is, as soon as the Rick death occurred, supposed death, as soon as the bridge blew up, fighting immediately ensued and there was blame. And by fighting, I mean skirmish, fist fighting, not fish fighting. Just kind of tempers flared. Not a war. So I don't think there was ever a war. But I do think there's some bad actors out there, some bad characters who potentially could have, hit Alexandria. Maybe the X's, maybe not. I still feel like the X's are Alexandria's way of showing unity toward Rick. I don't think there was ever... Look, the boldest prediction you could make out there is there was a little war between each one of these groups. I don't think it escalated into that. But I do think it was like a family fight and people were just made to pick sides. Look, you go where you're going to go and don't come into Alexandria. And maybe there are people that wanted to see RJ, wanted to see Judith, but Michonne just put the foot down and said, no, you're responsible. You caused this. Stay to yourself. And now, that Maggie perspective of we're going to kind of take care of our own. Michonne adopted the same thing and said, nobody gets in Alexandria. Well, I can't agree. I can't agree without more information. And Najee, using terms like definitely an incident, I'm not sure. If I had like a smoking gun and you could give me something, the problem with that is it's based solely on the need for it to be important. And I get where you guys are coming from. Lisa Halton says kills X's have to mean more. Heart of the Nixie says got to be a deeper meaning. So if it's a deeper meaning, what is that deeper meaning? And I'm open to discuss it. I definitely want something, but usually there's at least some hint, some clue, some inkling of a possibility. And all I've gotten so far, and no offense to the people that are very passionate about it, is it's got to mean more. It has to mean more because they showed it. But what does it mean? One contingency of people are going to say it means that there were fighting between the group. And Maggie, I've had people say Maggie did this. Look, Maggie did not do this to Daryl and Michonne without dying. It just didn't happen. You've got to give me a scenario of where someone came into Alexandria and tied and bound the two strongest people and just happened to mark them in the same area that Rick got punctured. That's way beyond coincidental. This rogue group of bandits like to come in. What are they called? The Rebar Bandits? and just happened to tie up the two closest people to Rick and put X's on the exact same area, I'm having a hard time with that. Really. So for me, a deeper meaning could be that it's a tribute. It is a brand. It is a, look, we're never going to forget you. No matter how long we live, this is something that we're going to pay tribute to Rick Grimes. Now, look, I don't think they all mounted white horses and went over to the rebar and just, dropped themselves on top of it just to see what it feels like. But not everything is a conspiracy. Not everything is that big of a deal. Like I said, if you've got something that is stronger, is more valid, I would love to talk about it, but I just haven't seen something that kind of hit home, that kind of sticks, right? Orlando, I have not seen an official brief from the writers of The Walking Dead that confirm that. What I heard was Michael Cutlass say it's really screwed up how it happened. But when there's comments out there from the writers, one, let me say this. The writers never make comments. They just don't. And I'm not trying to pick on you. The showrunners make comments. Angela Kang makes comments, but the writers never make comments. A lot of times that is someone heard it from someone else and someone heard it from Angela Kang, and then it got put in print and it became in print. And in fact, everything that I've heard, it's very vague. There is no validation to it. If there's validation to it, then it has neither been proven nor disproven, which is why there's so much emotion around it, which is why people say, well, it's definitely this, or it's got to be that, or it's got to mean a little bit more than it really does. So the two confirmations that I have regarding the X is Michael Cudlett's acknowledgement that it's a really screwed up situation, and Angela Kang saying that we will get the answers to what happened. That's all I've heard. So if you've got something additional, then by all means link it to me. I would love to dig into it and read it. But that's still very vague. Which is why, and I think that's a fair question. Someone else asked a minute ago, well, why does Daryl have that kind of makeshift mark up on his shoulder and then the one down at the bottom? And why does Michonne have it? I've heard that too. I've heard kidney transplants. I've heard a group came in and took over. There's probably 4 or 5 things out there. But keep in mind, there's also people said it happened to Michonne when she was giving birth to RJ. But then people came out and said, oh, there is no RJ. I mean, that's the fun part of speculating, right? The O's. It's a game of X's and O's. Fair enough. All right. Yeah. The O's were Oceanside. The X's were Alexandria. I get it. You guys crack me up. Lisa says Q&A. Do you think Michonne? Who do you think Michonne is killing in the flashback? I do feel like there's an Oceanside connection, and I think Cindy is gone. That's just my feeling. Because I like Cindy as a character, and I just think if they were going to develop her, she would have been one of those characters that you kind of would have just been seeing side by side. Like Tara and Jesus, like Michonne and DJ. So why have we not seen more Oceanside, but yet we saw that final group of scavenging saviors? What do you guys think about that? And, I mentioned in a previous stream, that could have been a little bit rushed, that they just wanted to kill off the last few saviors just to kind of push Negan's story forward. But that is another secret. I'm going to ask a follow-up question to that. Will Carol divulge any information that she burned all the remaining saviors? Henry kind of has an idea. But Carol's got her secret too. Think it'll just ever come up? Like, hey, Negan, by the way, I burnt the rest of your men. So whether it becomes, anything more than just kind of rushing to the next topic, it is a secret. So we've got secrets revolving around Jadis, the helicopter, Rosita and Father G. Not a secret around what happened after the bridge blew up. And the X's. I don't think it's not something that they didn't want us to know. But some of these secrets are going to blow up in people's faces. There was and I guess it's just the assumption, just for, it doesn't matter to me, but just for topic of conversation, I want to see where you guys stand on this. The Aaron-Jesus relationship, was it secret because they really wanted to get the communities back together, or was it secret because you think there was a romantic interest between the two? Or both? We'll never get the answer to this question. Well, we might. The only way we could really get the answer to this question is if, an Aaron reflection video, talking about how moving on from Eric was hard and he finally found somebody, he could trust again. That could come up at some point. I don't have an answer on that. I just want to throw it out there so you guys would kind of, get the comment in the video and just see where everybody stands on it. Because I know we're passionate. We're passionate about the story, the relationships, some of the plots, some things that could go down. So as we discussed a little bit earlier, and you guys know these Saturday streams are a little bit shorter, so we won't go a full hour on these, but I do have a couple more bullet points, a couple more questions. And if you guys want to get your question, comment, just type Q&A. As we said, Super Chats will probably be up within a couple days, but I do want to jump around and get some people included in this. Newfield 12 says, what if Michonne wouldn't let Sadiq leave Alexandria and other communities lost lots of people? That's a good point. Sadiq couldn't help, and then, one thing leads to another, and it's just a lot of finger pointing going on. But it does seem like the spark, pun fully intended, was the explosion on the bridge. So ever since that happened, I could see them at odds with each other. So, plot hole. Big plot hole. Oh, another pun, because I guess a funeral would be a plot hole. You guys can see where I'm going with this. Did anyone attend Rick's funeral? Both literally, did Michonne not have a funeral or not invite anyone? Was there that much anger and animosity that she said, you're just not coming? And once again, and I don't want to force kind of my vision of The Walking Dead on anyone, but I kind of feel like the Rick tribute was a small gathering. At some point, maybe they did a group, and they didn't invite other people. They didn't invite people that maybe they felt Maggie. I almost feel like there was that much animosity that Michonne would just want to do it kind of separately. And that's kind of where I feel like the tribute could have happened. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and we'll do follow-up videos. And I'm not ready. I'm not going to do this as a bold prediction and say, look, I'm right, and this is the way it happened. Rick died, and immediately, they're trying to hold Michonne back, or they thought Rick was dead, and Michonne starts going off on Maggie. She's got to defend herself, and then she's apologizing. She's sorry about it. Michonne just wants to kill any and everybody. Maggie goes back. They never make amends. Michonne wants to just pay tribute to Rick. She just can't get over it. Doesn't want to have a funeral. Other people might want her to have a funeral to move on. So that could put them at odds as well. And then just to always remember Rick, maybe, they get that little insignia. And I would be okay with that, but not everybody's going to be cool with that. And if it is more than that, I want to check it out. I'll be right there with you guys. Scott Kernan says, Q&A. What are Judith and Michonne doing in the second half trailer? Are they mourning Rick 6 years after the death, or does something happen? Scott, speculation at this point. It could be a situation where they are finally going to make it official, and the only way to move on. But that could tie into the funeral, right? They never had that, and they said, look, we're finally going to do something just to give up. And one thing about The Walking Dead is maybe after they give up, something else gets discovered. I think that would be a cool story, right? That let everybody accept that Rick is dead and be ready to move on. And then they find some clue or hear something like, hey guys, we haven't seen Jadis in about 6 years. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. She took off to go meet another group. Oh yeah, I saw a helicopter. It won't happen like that. Obviously, I'm being facetious, but if some of these little clues really, let it die down and then spark the controversial, situation back up. I Like to Fish says, Q&A, why is there a lot of people from the sanctuary at Alexandria? Well, you know what? That could be the source of the fight as well. That even after that, there was so much desire to keep Rick's dream alive that they took some of those bad actors. So some of the people that think the X is a little bit more than what we talked about. Do you think that Alexandria took some of those saviors in, and in order to mock and make fun of Rick, that they did that to Michonne and Daryl, and then Michonne killed a few of those, and that's why they didn't want anybody to come back into Alexandria? Do you think they tried to overthrow Alexandria? I mean, I just want to, we'll throw that out there as a sub-theory. I mean, certainly one of the biggest secrets. I mean, it would be super cool if it turned into something. And, perhaps Michonne was just so blinded by helping Rick that's like, look, we're going to take all these people. Hilltop's not going to help them. The sanctuary fell. We're going to extend a helping hand to you, and then something bad happened. Yeah, so Walking Dead nerd, that's the only problem that I have is it just feels like it's related to Rick. So if another community came in and did that, the fact that they branded them in the exact same spot that Rick was injured, to me that's not a coincidence. Not like it's, their arm, their neck, their face. I mean, it is right there. So if someone were trying to take over, what would be the relevance of that? That's kind of my biggest drawback with that. Unless it was somebody really trying to mock the fact that they followed Rick for so long. You followed him and look what that got him. And look, we're just going to show you, that type of thing. I feel like, and that would tie into Michael Cudlett's, right? Like it's a real screwed up situation. Is doing that to not only make a point, but to mock the person who got them into this situation in their mind. The fact that it just randomly happened in that spot, really, I can't get around that. And in a moment of weakness and despair, maybe they didn't fight back. So, and that's why I think bits and pieces of what everybody's saying is probably, we're all getting close, but I just don't think there's one thing that just that aha moment. That's what the story is. Yep. Steph, I agree with that, right? Like Rick is a false god, and they're just going to mock him with that mark. And anybody, so could we see more of them? Yes. If they were kind of taken over by a small group or something happened, they were caught maybe while they were out there looking for Rick. This is always going to be the reminder of what your leader did to us or got us in trouble. Yeah, I mean, it didn't have to happen at Alexandria. It could have been a rogue group of saviors that did it. Maybe in the beginning, Michonne, Daryl, a couple others were out looking for Rick, and instead of killing him, might have been Jed's group. I mean, let's throw this out there. Right after the bridge blew up, there was a search party out there looking. And Jed's group, who's just been out there doing their thing, came upon 3 or 4 of them, and there were like 10 of them, and they just abused them. I mean, it would be cruel. It would be, screwed up. Sorry, as Michael Cutlass was going to say. And I think it would also, let me ask this question and we'll wind the stream down because we're at 45 minutes. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is the anger and the emotional level that you would experience if Michonne, Daryl, and Aaron were out looking for Rick's body and 15 saviors, led by Jed, branded them and mocked Rick Grimes? Whew. That, we might have added something here. That might hit you a little bit. So, possibly, right? I mean, possibly a flashback or, kind of showing how that scene could play out. It would be moving. I think it would go down as a rough scene to watch in Walking Dead. So, look, we'll funnel it. We'll throw it out there as an alt theory. Maybe that's the way it went down. Possibly we're on to something about this mysterious X. But there's a whole lot of other secrets that we didn't get to. But look, this is Saturday morning, and we're going to go into the weekend. I want to say thank you. Appreciate everybody being here. It has been a great week of streams. Even though we've moved a lot of viewers over this channel, I feel like we're getting our core group back over here, the people that are passionate about it, the people that really took this channel to a whole different level. And as I said before, there's going to be multiple channels that are up there. You're going to see gaming on some. You'll see gaming reviews. We're going to do our spoiler chat on 999 Spoilers. And then we're going to do a lot of our live streams, a lot of our dead chat on here. And, of course, we will be talking about Game of Thrones. So we'll do that as well. And we're going to be posting content on 999 Gaming. A lot of people, we're still going to do some live streams on 999 Gaming. But let me say this. There's a big portion of our fans, even a couple of you, who have said, I want some shorter videos. I can't attend all the live streams. So we will throw, the 6 or 7 minute video up and post it. But more than likely, that's going to be on the gaming channel, and we'll do some follow-ups to that. But some of our deeper discussion, really would like to see you all on this channel as well. So thank you. Stay tuned. Subscribe to all 5 or 6 of our channels, and you'll just see different things at different places. I appreciate everything that you guys do. I did say at the end of this video, you know what, I'll mention a couple stats if you guys want to hang out. But let me do a couple shout-outs, and then if you guys are here for a couple extra minutes, I'll just sort of go through a couple of the channel stats and why I'm so excited about what we're doing here. So I'll start out with the patrons in the top left-hand corner. You guys know there's a third-party website down by there, down below in the description. We got a ton of people that support this channel through Patreons. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Just incredible, incredible support. If you guys are interested in becoming a Patreon, it is in the link down below. Sponsorships, you guys can see in the top right-hand corner, several sponsors that contribute to the channel as well. The moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells, and of course, our super chatters that are waiting to super chat on all the brand new channels. Special shout out to each and every one of you. Hold tight for a couple more days, and you'll see the super chat available once again. And let me do some shout outs. This is the closing credits. I'm going to do some shout outs, and I'll hang out for a couple minutes afterwards. So if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. If you like what we do, hit the like button. And if you're part of the 999 Army, give me a 999 right now so we can show everybody just the growth, the development of these channels, and some of the long-term vision that we have. Ron Burgundy Moore, thanks for being here. Samantha Coombs, C. Critch, Jeep, Viola McGowan, Joyce Andrews, thank you so much. Appreciate that. BVB Army, what up? Chris Riddle, Newfield 12, Heart of Nixie, thank you so much. Pete D, always a pleasure, my man. Fluff Salisbury as well. Leanne Gash. Gamma, representing the Whispers. T-Virus TV, what's up, Walking Dead Nerd? Thank you. I like to fish. Thank you for being here. Nerd Life. Wilson, thank you so much. That's a super, super duper super chat. Thank you for that. Bumblebee Brown. Julia Muse. Nav Malcolm, thank you. John Carter. Edwin Gonzalez, thank you so much, Edwin. Sam B. Kathy Parker. Crystal, the singer chick Gore. Sub to all channels forever. Thank you. Shelton Arthur as well. And if you guys are subbed to all the channels, if you're wondering how to do that, go to the 999 Gaming page. There's a list of channels. If you sub to each one of them, hit a notification. When we upload a video or we do a live stream, you'll immediately get notified. So There's no cost to do that, and there's no benefit to do it except we want you guys to be included in everything that we do. And you will see some content on 999 Spoilers sometime next week. Valar, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Earl Gavinovich, thank you so much. Gina Crockett, Kimberly G. Commodore Crawfish, thank you. Thomas Carroll. And Pete, you're right. The smaller streams, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out how I want to articulate this. The smaller streams do have its benefit as well. I could definitely be more interactive with several different people. And they will grow. I mean, everybody will transition over here at some point. One Conscious, I will answer the question in 1 second about 999 because people have asked that. All right, so if I missed you in a shout out, I will catch you in the next one. So I said I would hang out a little bit, go over some channel stats and a couple questions. So one, the question has come up, where's the origin of 999? And I have mentioned this to some people a while back. So in the United States, 911 is the call for help, and the international code for help is 999. So when I started doing gaming tutorials, I wanted to provide an outlet for people who wanted to learn a little bit more about gaming because I've always been very passionate about it. I set up 999 Gaming, and that's where the name sort of manifested. As the channel developed, and I was lucky early on with 999 Gaming to get some sponsorships through companies like Zynga, where they would promote the channel, and channel started to grow, and they would add financial benefits to supporting their game as well. As long as I would do videos and talk about their games, good relationship. So the channel started to get more exposure, but a lot with gamers, and that would be either tutorials. Tutorials turned into things that people wanted to see, like questions about games, questions about developers, tricks, clues, pack openings, all of those things just started to gather a bigger audience. And the gaming community is 8 to 80. I mean, it's all types of people where you're not always going to be the best, you're not always going to be the fastest. There's a trolling environment with gaming. So the gaming community started to change a lot. I still do a lot of gaming. However, our audience was very quickly starting to turn to the dialogue, the chat, the deeper communication, and a lot of our gaming videos would be sidebars and conversations about different shows. And I started to realize that our niche was really talking about shows, and specifically The Walking Dead. It was a community that was interested, and it was interested in getting together, and not just in what I had to say, but talking in a live forum to each other. So we started doing Walking Dead videos and theories, and I realized that, look, there's sometimes that people do want to see my theory and they want an alternate perspective, and the videos were fine. But the live streams were really what made our channel what it is, and that's involving all of you into the chat. Real time, whether it's through Super Chat or whether it's involvement, I can kind of get a topic of conversations, and if you do a video and it's wrong, and it's you, or it's your source. But in these, I can come up with an idea and say, this is what I think, and you guys can, and it's not like a quest to prove me wrong. It's like, yeah, but Kills, we heard this, or this is what is out there, and we can immediately almost kind of backtrack and say, yeah, well, I like your idea a little bit better. So it's not just me throwing my theory out there. It really is a live stream. It is a living stream, I guess, where it's just constantly taking shape, and it's super unique. There's no two of our streams that are exactly the same, because you either learn something new, or I found out something new, or sometimes it's a passionate, heated, no, I believe this, or it's me, yeah, wow, that's the best idea I've ever heard. And then we still get trolls. We still get people to say, Kills, you said this, but remember, 5 months ago and 12 days, this video, I said it before anybody else. Like, well, there's no points for saying it first. I'm not trying to steal your credit. But that is kind of the way our chats have sort of evolved. Now with that, there's 81,000 people out there that are a mix of gamers, a mix of Walking Dead fans, a mix of Empires and Allies fans that are subscribed to the channel. So I will say this channel, 999 Dead, is starting to get back to a little bit more of our core and what we do. It doesn't mean that we're not going to do those videos on 999 Gaming. We absolutely will. We absolutely will do spoilers. But I do have a percentage of my audience, probably 20% of our audience, will say, Kills, when you do the spoiler video, I don't watch. So I don't want to put the spoiler video on this channel if there's a specific group of people that only want to go there for a spoiler video. And I'm going to be very careful in saying we will include spoilers, or this is just going to be speculations and predictions. So I do, Commodore, I think you made the comment a little bit earlier, you can't have a channel for everybody. No, but you can have a few channels that do cater to a larger portion of your audience. And next year, it's very likely, as the channels continue to grow, you will see me streaming live from various events. But that is depending on how all these channels really take shape. If we can get 999 spoilers up to that 10, 15,000 people, if we get this channel up to that 10 or 15,000 people, continue to grow gaming up to 100,000 people. Really interesting stat I'll throw out for you guys. The demographics on 999 Gaming, the last time I checked, was 77% male, 23% female. Now, if you look at our live streams, that might seem a little bit odd, that 77% of the people watching our videos on 999 Gaming are male. But it's a lot of gamers because the gaming community is mostly male. If you look at our chats on 999 Dead so far, just the people that have transitioned over, 55% female, 45% male. When you have a channel that does 3 years of gaming hardcore, your demographics are going to be skewed. So I feel like the 55-45 is probably more of an accurate mix of the people that are in our streams. It might even be a little higher. I would probably say it's probably 60-40 female to male. And not that I care, and I appreciate all of you that are here, but it's just something that's a little bit eye-opening. And I would also tell you that of our gaming channel, the demographics, there's a big portion of our viewers 25 and under. Whereas on this, the demographics, much, much more mature audience. So hopefully that gives you an overview. Thank you. I appreciate everybody being here. We're going to continue to grow. Everything that you guys do, from the Patreon support, the Super Chats, hanging out with us, is all relevant. I can't tell you how long to watch a video, but I'll also tell you that the average time that our videos are watched, even when we do live streams on 999 Gaming, is about 9 to 10 minutes, which means there's a lot of gamers that come on, they listen to what they want to listen to, and then they walk out. The average watch time of these videos that we've done, and I know it's a small sampling, it's only a week, are over 20 minutes. So for an hour-long stream, the fact that everybody watching, I know many of you watched the whole thing from start to finish, which is awesome, but the fact that it's double the people that are watching it now is a big, big deal. So, continue to get involved, continue to watch the videos, your participation. And the other thing I'd say is I do look at your comments, I do look at the likes, they are important to me. So nobody has a video out there where people watch 100% of it. That is an amazingly high retention rate. But all your comments are included, so once a video goes live, leave your comments, interact with other people. It is very, very important. And thank you so much for what all of you do. Enjoy your Saturday. I will be back here noon tomorrow and 8 o'clock tomorrow. There will be a comic book discussion tomorrow. So look for that. It's probably going to be on gaming. So stay tuned to both channels. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Peace.